Welcome back to the Bryan Devore Connection. I'm your host, Bryan Devore. Today we're going to be talking about an environmentally friendly cremation process called Aqua Cremation. I'm here to talk about that process with us and about his company. White Rose is its owner and founder, David. David, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thank you, Bryan. Thanks for
Good. So I've known you now for a few months, and this is a whole new ballgame, so to speak, when it comes to the cremation process. And I really wanted to provide this opportunity for you to educate people on what this is about, because it's revolutionary, it's all different. So let's talk about it. Give us an overview of what this process is.
Sure. Well, this process has been around in the United States for about 25 years. They've been using it at medical clinics, and it entered into the funeral industry for humans in 2011.
Okay.
So this process, known as aquamation or water cremation, will cremate a body. We'll use that word cremate, even though it's a little bit different. Cremate a body just like traditional flame cremation, and you'll get the same result. But there's no emissions. There's no heat transfer into the atmosphere. It's environmentally friendly, and it's non-toxic. So it's just a great choice for gentle and green end of life.
Got it. So we'll touch on some of these individual things in just a moment. What made you interested in this process?
I was interested in getting into the industry itself after my mother passed away. She was a big encouragement to me. I had been very interested in doing it. I liked the business model of it, of cremation, flame cremation, and then got into this industry in 2019 and was introduced to water and thought it much better choice for our environment and actually on the body, much more gentle.
Got it. Okay. And so you started White Rose, and really your mission at this point is really, I think, to educate people, because it's a new process. People don't know about it, but it is very different than the traditional flame. So
correct.
You talk about environmentally friendly. Let's talk about that again. So how is this more environmentally friendly than the traditional process?
Yeah. Well, there's no emission. So, which means that there is no smoke or vapor going into the atmosphere as in comparison to a flame cremation. No heat. So we have a global warming. We have all this heat transfer going into our atmosphere, which is changing our climates. And so there's none of that. It is about 125 gallons of water. It's a sterile, and it's just much more friendly and gentle when it comes to our environment and when it comes to, again, end of life.
Yeah.
On the body.
And I was reading the information you had sent me. So what happens to the water? And that's part of the process too. So maybe just kind of talk about the process in general, for how it works.
Okay.
And what that looks like.
Well, to start the process, we use alkali salts. The alkali salts will raise the alkalinity of the water. So about 16 to 20 pounds of an alkali salt, a flake salt. You can hold it in your hand. As long as it's not wet, it likes the water. So as soon as it sees water, it raises the pH, the alkalinity of the water. We use, again, about 16 to 20 pounds of the alkali salt, about 125 gallons of water. That the body is introduced to the chamber, and the water is gently moved around the body.
Wow.
Yeah, so the alkali salt is just raising the alkalinity of the water.
Got it.
Yeah, after about 8 hours, an 8-hour gentle process, that water is released. In our city, our municipality, where our permit is here in Southern California, our treatment plant wants it all back, and they jettison out to sea. So the
water goes back to water.
Goes back into the ecosystem, as we say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. The process itself takes about how long, and how does that compare to the traditional flame process?
So it's 8 hours. Again, it's a longer, gentle, slow process with water cremation. In a flame cremation, traditional cremation, depending on the size of the person, the body, anywhere from an hour, and of course the machine as well, anywhere from an hour to an hour and 40 minutes. So it's much more aggressive way of reducing the body.
Yeah.
all the organic matter from the body. Yeah.
But this doesn't really change as far as the length of time someone can expect to get their loved one back, whether it's in an urn or something like that.
Correct. Mostly that length of time based on the administrative part. So registering the death, getting the attestation from the doctor. There's a lot of moving parts behind the scenes. So the doctor has to place the cause of death on a document. Once we get those documents, they're turned into the county registrar, depending on what county in California. All of these things take time. So our staff immediately gets on it, but sometimes it'll take up to 4 or 5 days just to get the document. Also, depending on caseload for doing the cremation, there might be other families that have been waiting. We just got those documents. So we always tell the family anywhere from 7 to 10 working days. And usually we're able to do it quicker than that.
And it's probably about the same whether they choose aqua cremation or flame cremation, because the time is really about the county and the transfer of paperwork more than the process.
Yes, and usually we're a little bit quicker because there's a lot more people choose flame because of cost. Mm-hmm. So, and again, there's I'll just leave it at that.
Okay, mm-hmm. Got it. So, I mean, again, it's new. I mean, this is all about education because people just don't understand it. So that's one of the reasons I want to do this video is just to get the word out about what this is.
Right, I appreciate that. That's what I spend most of my time doing is educating. A lot of medical professionals still are not aware of alkaline hydrolysis, aqua cremation or aquamation, and a lot of hospice, just a lot of people in general. So we try to promote as much as possible, not just the brand or the name of our funeral home, but really just educate people about alkaline hydrolysis, water cremation.
Right. So if people want to, do they have an opportunity to come see for themselves what it's all about?
Absolutely. We do tours. We do hospice tours with many people coming through at one time. We do a lot of advanced planning. So people that are planning that like the idea of a gentle carbon footprint left behind for their end of life, for their death. So a lot of these people that are doing that, they want to see our facility, they want to meet the staff, and so we do have a lot of visitors at times.
Great. Well, I know there's more information on your website, so on screen is the information for White Rose, phone number, website. Go there, take a look at it, learn more about it, contact them, go schedule a tour, and understand really what this process is all about. If you are listening on as a podcast, of course you can't see it, but it's there in the caption below. So David, thank you very much for joining me today, and I'm glad we're able to get this information out so more people become aware of a more environmentally friendly way to do this.
Thank you, Brian. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure.